open, and it doesn't give Team Philippines any information as to how they want to play in or how they want to win in the mid lane. So right now, understandably, I feel that the mid lane might... It could go either or right now. To be honest, they need more setup. Having a setup for them is a lot more important. And in this case, okay, they've decided to go for Belleric in this case.
Yeah, and that's because they possibly want to go for a Gord. Now, Team Philippines go for the standard clean-cut combo of the Zhu Xin and the Suyo as well. So we are going to see that Suyo on Nepomuceno now, no longer playing that tank jungle. He's now on that fighter jungle and assassin-esque playstyle coming through. Now, Hylos will be the last pick of choice with the Glorious Pathway. And now for the side of Team Cambodia, most likely, right, with the Belleric pick, highlights into that Gord.
Yeah, there is a high loss in this case after all. Allowing the God to be picked up pretty nicely as well. You need to find a way to eventually be able to melt down this high loss if your team composition kind of plays for front to back. As a Claude, you can play front to back, and of course, if you want to kind of go for, you know, kind of team fight centric kind of thing, you need to be able to whittle down the front lines as much as possible. Although it is not going to be the main game plan for Claude to kill Hylos. The main game plan for Claude is to jump over the backlines and go for a crazy blazing duet.
Yeah, coach by getting his final words in before handing it over to the players. And Team Philippines right now, they're going to their roots, right,
of the group stages here. Whichever team that make it through and whichever team that wins is going to get themselves a massive boost in the group stage. And the amount of, I guess this comes down to tiebreakers head-to-head that will make a bunch of difference.
Yeah, just going up against Team Philippines alone, a giant standing in their way. This is going to be Team Cambodia putting themselves at 1-1. This is unforeseen territory here as we're now on unfamiliar grounds, and Team Philippines, they're starting to feel the heat.
So let's just jump right in. Take a look at the gold lane first. And understandably, we have got a Harif for the side of Team Philippines, would naturally give him a lot, or rather a lot better of that lane priority. While we take a look at the top lane, a Yu Zhong does definitely seem a lot stronger than the Arlet in this case. With good amount of mobility as well as poke and of course healing, you definitely have to remember about that. So other than that, you know, Vinegar can do all of that damage, but with the shower as you building up, you can always go toe-to-toe against that Arlet.
Yeah, and for Team Cambodia, it becomes a game of cat and mouse, right? Whether or not you have that early timing versus that Suyo. And having that heavy spin, yes, it becomes so much more important. When you're not going up against Abasia this time, this is a Suyo that can deal heavy amounts of damage into your lineup.
That also means that Suyo naturally would be able to finish his rotation within of his own jungle a lot faster. So Team Cambodia, they have to really look out to where exactly this Suyo is, which, managed to find him already.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, right, it's going to be pound for pound, bar for bar here. There is no Wrath of the Dryad available. Glorious Pathway also not available, but Turtle being spawned up, they set their sights towards the EXP lane.
Well, Nepomuceno currently at level 5. I think that that's going to be the main idea that will be coming into this fight. However, you also need to remember that Chandrawan is playing as the Archive. And whenever that he's playing as Archive, it's always fair to say that the first turtle will always go to him because of the presence of that heavy spin.
Yeah, level 4 being spotted out for the side of Papico. They realize that they need that Mystic Gush on Papico's, on the Gord as well. Now, Mystic Gush now available. Level 4, still not there for the roamers here. Both teams posturing.
Waiting for the perfect time, but here we go. Off to the side, Papico has already popped the ultimate.
Yeah, and that ultimate gone, meaning that they can actually use the Mystic Gush with the Black Dragon form. Chandravan does actually get that turtle. Now for side Team Philippines, they're trying to make it hurt for side Team Cambodia. Mystic Gush still not being popped, but the final slash onto 3. Heavy spin being popped out as well. And with Viana coming through, there's enough damage from Team Philippines to get an early advantage despite losing the turtle.
That is actually some massive damage coming in from Team Philippines, especially when it comes down to that final slash that landed pretty amazingly for the side of Vinuya. Now, while all the entire fight went on, we've got so much damage that's being dealt coming in from Viana, who joined into the battle together using that Zaman Force as well.
Yeah, that current river giving him a lot of space into that team fight as well. We saw heavy spin coming out from Chandavan, but that utility needs to be used against the Suyo if you're unable to get that lockdown onto the Suyo, right? Similar to how that Boxia was locked down, you're just going to be giving away these team fights. Now, Team Philippines, they have a handed lead, 1.32 so far.
And just like that, Team Cambodia unfortunately is going to be behind. Vinuya finds an opportunity to immediately go in with a flicker and dash that gets a kill down on the Mekong. So just from that, 3 kills for Team Philippines, but Cambodia, they ain't backing down.
Yeah, now Mr. Gush being used onto Nepomuceno, unable to get out. Wrath of Dryad is there just to lock him down. And Team Cambodia, they respond back. Now 1,000 gold lead for the side of Team Philippines, but they need this lead because currently they don't have that utility jungle, right? Meanwhile, in that front-to-back fight, Team Cambodia, they will have that Claude awaiting.
Fights going to be happening all across the board. Vinuya, masterful display coming in, constantly just being a threat and being an annoyance over to that Yuzong as much as possible. And Vinuya, as much as possible, it looks as though he's not afraid of anything, as you can see, even though he is technically against 3 members up to the top lane. He did manage to bait that bit of Mystic Gush out though.
Yeah, I mean, all this for that turtle as well.
I think that's fair.
That's worth. That's a 1-to-1 trade. And Team Philippines, they secure a bit of that macro for themselves, 1.21k, and going into the later stages of the game, mid-stage of the game, where the Glorious Pathway and the Zaman's Force, this used to be the talk of the town, right? Glorious Pathway, Zaman's Force, you can't do anything. You just slow down.
So right now, honestly, Team Cambodia, they're not out of the woods as of yet, right? They did have a very, I will say that they have a not that good of a lane phase, but their composition does definitely allow them to play more into the late stages of the game with that Claude. So they just need to bide their time and wait for the perfect opportunity to spring into action.
Yeah, Mystic Gush forcing out that pop of the ulti from Pabiko. Won't have it for the next few moments, but Team Cambodia can't really capitalize that as well. We have 2 Purifies, meanwhile from the side of Team Philippines playing much safer this time. They know that the heavy spin and also the Wrath of Dryad is a combination that they need to worry about now. Vinuya in a bit of trouble here. Heavy spin being forced into that turret, but able to get out with the final slash. Styling left and right, able to get out from the range of Chandavan, and Vinuya just styles away.
This is the power of the Island in this case. But here comes the Nepomuceno as well. But I don't think that they have enough firepower to end this.
Yeah, and no final flash this time, right? He used it to get out of harm's way. Definitely, they want to go in now. Final flash back up in position, but Black Dragon form is being popped here. Team Cambodia, they can actually go for the re-engage as Char Residue is up onto Vinuya as well. Odum, he is coming on the way as well. The rest of the team, everybody looking towards that top lane, and Mekong falling extremely low here. Pabiko still not letting go, but that Mystic Gush might actually make him retreat here. Team Cambodia, they are playing the disengage battle extremely well, and the stun coming out on Nepomuceno. This team fight looks like it's never going to end as the heavy spin is there, but not committed.
Cambodia is also going to be very disciplined, even though there seems like a very big opportunity for them to get a double kill there onto Pabiko as well as Vinuya. They understand that this is not a fight that they need to take, because they also understand this is a late game composition for them. Any unnecessary plays from them is undoubtedly gonna make things gonna be a lot more difficult for them to kind of get out of in the event that they do something wrong.
Yeah, and now Team Cambodia, they do get another turtle for themselves as the Golden Staff is being picked up from the side of Favin as well. And this is going to be a small little gold lead coming out from the side of Team Philippines, but at the same time, right, Team Cambodia has all this stored gold in terms of the Tier 1 turrets. If only they can get a push going. And so far, the one that has been blocking, the one that has been distracting across the map, Vinuya, he needs to be dealt with.
Honestly, Vinuya is one of the only person that can't be stopped by the heavy spin. One of the only ones, right? He can constantly just dash over and over again and just relocating himself in different orientation as well to kind of make things so difficult for Chandavan to decide on, hey, how am I supposed to push him? So I think by the end of that skirmish at top lane, Chandavan probably have learned his lesson. He's not going to be focusing on the Infinia at any point in time now.
Yeah, but while all this is happening, level 13 is on Nepomuceno. Papico will be the main source of damage here, and now that Mystic Gush, not enough to take out Papico, forcing out that Purify, but that was a great use to disengage.
Yep. However, this Mystic Gush and this get together kind of thing from Team Cambodia is a very good way to ensure that Team Philippines understand that they can't just run their way through. They can't just steamroll, they can't just snowball, or they can just disrespect Team Cambodia, because they need to respect the damage coming in from the Mystic Gush.
Yeah, and the first frontliner, only De La Cruz, right? Unable to find any value with that Glorious Pathway so far, but has not had the obvious need to use it. But Nepomuceno now, level 14, able to do it, able to have so much advantage ahead of Chandavan, as expected of a fighter versus an utility jungle.
At this point in time, even though we are looking at a 2,000 gold lead from the side of Team Philippines, between the gold leaders, it's not that big of a difference. The last that we saw from Viana, he does have got 200 gold, a little bit more than Fabid. So it could still literally go to any team in terms of the late game insurance policy.
Yeah, Lord now on the map so far, 10 minutes into the game, 2,000 gold lead, and Nepomuceno finally hitting that level 15. That retribution quality, definitely extremely good at max level there.
It's already at 15? As compared to Chandavan. It's currently at level 12. I mean, this is just the truth about the difference between an assassin jungler and a tank jungler here.
Yeah, quick to pull the trigger there. Ozem, he's now in a lot of trouble as he has to commit the Rapid Dryad, but now Glorious Pathway is there as well. Heavy spin onto Viana at the side as he's being forced down. Now, not available with the Xayman's Force as Viana gets taken out. Favin also extremely low, but he does have the ability to fight back. And Team Philippines, they're falling down as Favin. He does it! He does it!
He thought that the lead will go well, but in the end, the path went over to Team Cambodia. But in the end, the path went over to Team Cambodia as Favin positioned himself optimally throughout the entire time. If you keep your eyes on the Favin, his HP was all the way down low and he had a great amount of assistance from his team, and all that Nepomuceno was trying to do was to assassinate him.
The trust in his team from this Cambodian lineup, man. The heavy spin onto Viana again. The heavy spin onto Viana against the wall. The Petrify timing coming out from Mekong was at the perfect time. Nepomuceno was ready to go for that hit, but it got completely disrupted by that one Petrify from the side of the Yuzong. That was just plain timing.
We also definitely need to commend the power of that Chandavan waiting in the brush, seeking for one member, and that is Viana. Made sure that, hey, this guy is going to be locked in onto the turret. However, I think that it's really unfortunate that Viana realized that he's in a top spot a little bit too late to kind of want to pop off that Purify.
Yeah, now 3,000 gold advantage with this Lord, 3,000 gold advantage with this Lord as well. They will take all the damage that they can get, not overextending here. Know that they're not too far ahead and still not reaching their power spike, right? They want to get a clear-cut advantage for the side of Favin, but definitely the difference between the junglers, they have been put to rest.
And right after that fight, having the fact that they do have the Lord for themselves, this gold charge gives us a very good understanding as how this game is going to be. With the Claude currently with 9,600 gold to himself versus the Harif at 8,400 gold. That is quite a big change. 1.3 thousand gold lead that Favin has got for himself. And we're talking about Claude, by the way.
Yeah, this is going to be very scary for the side of Team Philippines. Yeah, this is going to be very scary for the side of Team Philippines because they don't have that secondary frontliner. They have a Suyo, right? Ability to do damage is there, but if they don't burst people down, and if that Mystic Gush is consistently used to keep them away, Team Cambodia, they just need to play the distance and make sure that they don't take a dishonorable team fight where they're 4v5.
13 minutes and 30 seconds in. With the fact that we are only at 3-6 as a scoreline of kill score, Team Philippines, they yielded a very unfortunate fight over the side of Team Cambodia. Gave Team Cambodia the Lord and gave them the power of the map. And Team Cambodia, they will run away with it.
Wrath of the Dryad used against Venuya. That final slash coming a bit prematurely there. Now Papico chasing. Not going to be able to convert anything, right? The main damage healers are across the map right now. Nepomuceno just getting as much damage as he can to the lanes.
The Lord finally spawned down on the bottom lane, preparing to take down the war for anyone that dares to take him down. Team Cambodia now, they've got their eyes set onto the Lord. They have got the priority over this Lord, and this Lord undoubtedly will set the pace of the game from this point on. The lead is at 3,000, and if Team Cambodia were to take this Lord down, it will not just be 3,000 lead, but Team Philippines will very likely will start to lose inhibitor turrets.
2 Purifies still available for the side of Team Philippines as Lord Dance still underway. Black Dragon Form still available as well. All battle spells are available except for Venuya, right? And this is going to be huge because that's their main entryway into these team fights. That's why you don't see Team Philippines jumping into these team fights at all. If they had that final slash, definitely you would see them try to jump. Now, for the side of Team Cambodia, they know that they need that creep priority now, getting that chip damage through. Mengkong falling extremely low.
Not too sure if whether that is enough of a reason for Team Philippines to want to get themselves some priority over the Lord, because it is a Yuzhong after all. He can heal back pretty effectively due to the War Axe. However, looking for opportunities might be the case.
Yeah, with the Wrath of Dryad gets Venuya here. Mega kill onto Favin as well. And Favin is doing such a great job. Same as Force used to disengage her. Without Venuya, do they still want to go for the team fight? The knockup is there. And with the Favin coming in, with the Blazing Duet, able to do so much as Papico, he has to turn tail. Mengkong takes out De La Cruz. And Team Cambodia, they're making history here as they're taking out Team Philippines. And they're getting so much advantage as the Mystic Gush is going to be enough. The heavy spin is there, and Team Cambodia